I appreciate you, boss man. For what I'm about to show you, for those people, go look at this dude's channel. He had this information up, but I hadn't looked into the Moro people, and we know Moro means black, or dark skin, things of that nature. They typically refer to people like that. Really, it means people from Mauritania. But this allowed me to find some other information. Just a quick thing.
Hey, could you just tell me about the Moors in the Philippines? The Moors, or how we call them the Moros, okay, are people who are in the Philippines before there was a Philippines. So before the Spanish people came to the Philippines, they have a sultanate or tribal community in the Philippines. And the known leaders during that time, the more Islamic leaders are Umabon, Magat Salamat, which might be my relative, I don't know. Tupas, so many, but they're in our history books. Okay. But it's hard to dig some information because most of the written history was during the Spanish period. But I could send you some stuff. Cool, yeah, send me that hidden history, yeah. Appreciate that. Yep. Now it was a lot of heroes too, like. Yes, but again, they're usually tribes. Okay. And there was no Philippines yet, so they own a couple of islands and they're very territorial. Okay. But the common group that they repelled was the arrival of the Spanish. But when certain tribes accepted them and converted into Christianity, that slowly became the norm, unfortunately. So they overpowered the Moors or the Moros. Okay. Slowly upward into the entire archipelago. Cool. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the history lesson. No problem. Yeah.
So yeah, I find it really amazing how they know the story. Like me personally, I just looked up piecing random pieces together. I found the map. First, you see what they're talking about. You see the afro on the Negrito Filipino, the Aeta people right there. But literally, I have found this map. That was the first thing that led me down the path to even thinking Filipinos came over here. And the fact that it was in New Spain, and I just started getting more acquainted with what happened over here in New Spain. And just like he said, a lot of this stuff is in the history books in Spanish, and that's why they don't know as much of it. But they got a lot of the real history because their people put at least what they knew really happened. And that's what I had said in the last video. I was like, man, the Spaniards came into the Philippines, took them over, and then started bringing them over to here. And, they've been kind of cloaking. Some of them been cloaking themselves, and I don't blame them. If you've been captured from your homeland, and I'll say this, I haven't met a bad Filipino person, even the light-skinned people, the lighter cast. Like, you saw how nice he was, how amazingly nice he was, and like, yeah, let me tell you about our history. And let me tell you the real truth. And he said, I might even have an ancestor who might be black. You know what I'm saying? Laughed about it. You know what I'm saying? They live in truth. And that's one thing I can appreciate about them. If you've ever been on like a cruise ship, because they've been in like, all, or talked them over the phone, whatever. Not putting them in any kind of stereotypical position, but they do, frequently work at the cruise ships. And I've taken several of them, and they're some of the nicest people ever. I'm telling you, they will have an amazing conversation with you. They would try to act like, hey, what's up, bro? They'll come to the, with the housekeepers, the food people preparing the food, everybody on the boat, super excited. And even the people who are there that's like presenting the entertainment and stuff. Like, look, Filipino people, if y'all over here in the U.S. and you claim Indian, I'm going to let you stay. I'm going to advocate for you. You know what? They got brought over here. You know what I'm saying? Even if they came up, the Spanish either brought them or they came with it, whatever. Look, they nice. They too nice for me to tell them to go. Now, your Athabascan Asians, because one thing I will say, I don't see none of these Filipino, lookership people who claim to be Indian in today's time in America. I don't really see them in our panels. Now, I've seen them in videos on YouTube and stuff, but I don't see them in panels on TikTok trying to talk noise. Because they know that they got multiple types of people over there. You got some that look like that, which is definitely not the same as that other guy. He's a real straight Siberian. Then you got your other ones there, people like these, and they could be really mixes of Spaniards, YT Spaniards, Mongolians that are dark skinned, and even maybe some Aetas in them. You know, they could be like a tri mixture. I'm not really sure, but you can see a slight melanation with a slight Asiatic look, with maybe a slight European. So it's there. But long story short, look at the smiles, man. They really always be real cool. So I ain't got no smoke for the Filipino people whatsoever. But yeah, like I was just saying, this dude right here, he said a lot. He put out so many nuggets within, like, literally this is the first video I looked up. Once you said Moro people, I already knew because I'm always thinking about the sounding of words. So Moro, Moors, I knew it meant black people in a sense, or the black people of the Philippines. And somebody said something recently I actually have to look into now, that the Philippines is named after King Philip. And I didn't know. And I was like, oh man, Philippines, and I'm just like, the shit be in your face. So now I gotta go look that up. But he might have been possibly the king of Spain or something. I could possibly look it up. Let me just look it up real quick. Goddamn, King Philip of Spain, the Philippines. It be in your face. It be in our face, dude. It's the Philippines. Okay. And old boy just said they didn't call it the Philippines prior to that. They were very tribal tribes, like Indian tribes, like in America and everywhere else. Whatever. But they were very tribal and they had different landmass areas. They had their own little own little islands and stuff until the Spanish from Philip came there and did what he did. So New Philippines, from what some people try to say, they didn't have any Filipinos there. I believe some did come over there, but or those could have been Japanese. But long story short, I know that the explorer wrote to the king, and damn, now that I think about it, he might have wrote to the king of Spain. I think it was. It was a Spaniard. Yeah, of course, because he was a Spaniard. He wrote to the king of Spain, and I didn't look at the name of the king of Spain at the time. It probably was Philip. I got to go find that book again, but that he had created a new area for him, Nuevas Filipinas. So some of them may not be here, but I believe some of them are, especially down in the Mexico area, because in Mexico you have a lot of Asiatic, melanated looking people. Some of those could be from Japan, but I heard that a lot of Spain was taking people from the Philippines over here as well. So man, long story short, and it could just be, these people also could just be Spaniards and excuse me, melanated Indians mixed too. There may not be much from the Philippines, but I believe it was. I'm pretty sure because there was trans Pacific slave trade as well that I've heard about, and I'm gonna have to look more into that. And it's just like, man, that's what this history is about. But that, it's about like looking up so much stuff and putting the pieces together. But it really is rewarding when you listen to somebody in their country, because that's what these Africans and everybody else. You're not from the country. How are you going to tell me? Actually, I had a Filipino chick tell me, and that's funny. I had a Filipino. She's Filipino and black, but she lives in America, and she's trying to tell me. No, she says she's from the Philippines. So but I think she lived in America. But she's trying to tell me that she's Filipino, so she knows. How am I going to tell her about the history? I should go visit out there or something. And then you got a dude that says, "Hey, no, this is in our history books," and he spit the history just like that, and he said exactly what I said. And I ain't been over there. I ain't looked in their history books. I didn't get taught this. I'm putting puzzle pieces together and I'm really getting to the core of what they're saying. So, yeah, man, these people be playing.